Is Roman Reigns going to defend his title in AAA? Because if I remember correctly, Triple Mania is the 11th and the 13th, I think. Don't quote me on that. So it will be very interesting to see like a top star go to AAA that's not of that ilk, if you get what I mean. Because we had like some like main eventers, like Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest, but they're all Hispanic, right? Roman Reigns ain't Hispanic, as far as I know. He's not a lick of anything, all right? So it'd be very intriguing to see if they start using AAA as like a pseudo third brand or fourth, whatever. If you count NXT, it'd be fourth. But it'd be very interesting to see that because, yeah, Triple Mania is coming up and Worlds Collide will be on the same day in the same city as an AEW pay-per-view as well. So I'll be very interested to see how WWE tries to counter-program AEW there. Do they bring in the Chicago Merchant? Do they bring in the heavy artillery? All right, corporate man, Chicago Merchant, whatever you want to call him, CM Punk. Do they bring him in for Worlds Collide? That will be a very interesting thing. Now, back to Roman Reigns in AAA. If he does defend it in AAA, who does he fight? Dom is most likely going for the IC title. We'll get to that in a minute. El Grande? Well, he is like the Roman Reigns in a way of AAA. Like, he is like the star. But to WWE audiences, it'd be kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe Penta? Penta would be a really good one. That'd be my main two. Penta or El Grande, one of those two. I'm not too versed in AAA roster, so I can't really name like a AAA guy. So I can't really comment too much on that. On any other matchups like the Bloodline, who do they fight? Do they get involved? I don't know. But regardless, Roman versus El Grande might be a banger. Roman versus Penta might be a masterpiece. I'm just saying. But let's talk about Raw. Speaking of Roman, he opened up the show, comes out, typical acknowledge me, yada yada yada. LA Knight interrupts him. They start going back and forth, a hilarious segment like, Sierra, you suck. That was a nice little thing. Does he fight out Money in the Bank? That could be the Money in the Bank feud. It could be setting some up down the line, but it's most likely going to be like the Money in the Bank match he has if he doesn't do the AAA thing. I mean, he could do both, but because it is in October. So regardless, I think that's happening on Money in the Bank. I do think that will be a little disappointing, a little bit, not in terms of like match quality, but like, you know what I mean? We all know LA Knight not winning. You're not beating Roman. It's not happening. Now, if he wins Money in the Bank, now we have something going. But as the member of the Balor Club, we got that on lock already. All right, Finn Balor for Money in the Bank. We started early. Put him in there, let him win, let him cook. I'm just saying. But regardless, Roman vs. LA Knight should be pretty exciting. And then backstage, it's like, yo, you lost to LA Knight. You always keep calling you family. What's up with that? Go deal with that. Go handle that. And boy, oh boy, did he handle that. He handled it all right. He might have did a little too good of a job because he packed that man up. Roman Reigns himself had to come out and say, yeah, throw them ones up. Yeah, you did that. He packed them up. But very interesting to see where that goes. It might be, well, they just had a match and he just packed them up, so it wouldn't really make sense. Well, it does make sense for a feud, but you know what I mean? Like, we just seen you get packed up by him clean, like, by the way, like no outside interference or nothing. He just packed you up. So I'm very intrigued to see where they go with that story between Royce and Jacob. It could be very interesting. Lyra gets mitigated to a backstage segment again, a commercial break segment again. We should have a backstage segment in the background, so what are we doing with that? But regardless, hopefully they do something with her soon. She mentioned going after the IC title again. I guess, sure. But speaking of the main event scene, we have the return of Becky Lynch and Stephanie Vaquer. Now, they both going at the Liv Morgan. They both get each other's faces. They start beefing a little bit. Stephanie Vaquer returned, packed everybody up. You know what I mean? So, triple threat, maybe. Money in the Bank, possibly. I would not be opposed to it personally, but time will tell. Time will tell because, yes, Liv Morgan definitely needs some competition. Right? This could be a AAA thing. Triple Mania. Right? They could do the WrestleMania rematch at Triple Mania and then have Becky get involved somehow, some way, and then Money in the Bank, triple threat. I can legit see that happening. But speaking of Money in the Bank, I asked the question yesterday on my SummerSlam card review, who should win Money in the Bank for the women's division? Roxanne Perez would not be a bad option, especially if Liv retains. They can definitely do like a whole will she, won't she, you know how WWE likes to do that, and then the whole Judgment Day dissension plotline they've been building up for over a year now. They can definitely extend it even further with having the one without the championship have the briefcase. That would be a very intriguing storyline that I would love to see play out. Another thing that I found very interesting was they're leaning into the whole Braun Breaker is kind of over it thing. Like, in case you missed it, over like the last like 2 or so weeks, it was like a report that was like Braun Breaker's frustrated with his creative, and he appeared in a commercial break segment looking just straight dejected and bored and over it. I think they're leaning into it, and I think it could be very interesting. You got to stare down with Oba. He confronted Paul Heyman about Oba too, so that could be the feud. And if it is, hey, we might be back. We might be back. Low key, high key, whatever key you want to call it, we might be back. But regardless, I'm very intrigued to see where they go with that whole "I'm over it" Braun Breaker thing. Does he leave the division? I think it's time. I genuinely think it's time. I don't think he's needed anymore. I don't know when Bronson Reed's coming back. Whenever he comes back, just let them pack him up and go their separate ways. Because it's not working. Yeah, we have the whole Maxine and Austin Theory thing. You can keep that going without the vision. That would work fine without it. But regardless, shout out Oba, shout out Braun Breaker. Hopefully that's next week for both of them. And then we saw the return / debut of Big Cass. I don't know if he's a babyface or a heel, because what he did was a heel-like move, but the promo was kind of like a mixture of both a heel and a face-like promo. He's like, yeah, none personal. I gotta get mine, fam. Which, sure, I get it. I get it. But like, you just packed bro up. Out of all people you could have packed up, you packed up the one babyface. You couldn't have chosen anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But hey, shout out Big Cass. No Enzo, no match up Enzo at all this entire time. So I'm intrigued to see, do they even do the whole reunion? Do they save that for down the line? I don't know. But for now, shout out Big Cass. Very intrigued to see how they book him, where they place him, whether it's in the IC title division or mid card or upper mid card or main event. I don't know. We'll see. Shout out to him. And last but certainly not least, we have Dom possibly going back for the IC title, which, sure, he had a tag match between the Chad Pensa and the Judgment Day. Judgment Day lost. Chad Gable got the win, got the pin. Shout out to that, which is good. And if Dom is at least doing something of importance, I won't hate it. So he's probably not winning it, but regardless, at least he's doing something. So I give him that. But that's my Raw review. I think it's a pretty good episode. I think this episode was definitely better than the last like month or so. Like, it was. But this episode was pretty good. I'll give him that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And while you're down there, like and subscribe. Hit that nutty bell for more wrestling videos. This is Eli signing out. Goodbye.